Open up any programming forum today, and you're hit with a wall of noise. JavaScript, Python, Rust, Go, C++, an expanding maze of options. It is tempting to just pick whatever language has the most hype on social media today. But treating programming languages like fashion trends is a recipe for project failure. Build a simple web app with a low-level language, and you will spend weeks wrestling with memory management just to get a button on screen. Try to build a high-speed physics engine with a slow scripting language, and your game will struggle to maintain its frame rate. These mismatches are a primary cause of abandoned projects. You end up with missed deadlines, an architecture that crumbles under pressure, and total developer burnout. To actually make sense of the options, look at this chart. This plots out the programming landscape based on a single trade-off. On the vertical axis, we have human readability, how fast a developer can write the code. On the horizontal axis, we have proximity to hardware, how fast the machine can execute that code. Languages on the far ends of this chart force you to pick a side. You either prioritize the machine, stripping away human conveniences for maximum raw performance, or you prioritize the human, using highly readable abstractions that let you prototype quickly. There is no single objectively perfect language. The right choice is simply the one whose level of abstraction aligns with the specific constraints of what you are building. At the hardware level, we find systems-level languages like C and C++. They are the core foundation for operating systems, for graphics drivers, and high-performance game engines. This matrix breaks down how these languages operate. In C and C++, the developer must manually manage memory, actively telling the computer exactly when to allocate RAM and exactly when to free it. Because you bypass the safety nets of slower languages, you gain direct control over the physical hardware, running at the highest possible execution speeds. But look at the syntax complexity and risk column. The trade-off is significant. A single error, like forgetting to free a block of memory, causes leaks that can crash the entire system. Rust was built to address these safety issues without sacrificing systems-level speed. As you can see, Rust introduces a strict ownership model. The compiler acts as a gatekeeper, verifying your code is memory safe before allowing it to run. This guarantees memory safety instantly, without relying on a performance-killing garbage collector in the background. The catch is highlighted under risk. Rust's compiler is notoriously unforgiving. Initial development takes much longer because the compiler rejects any code that isn't perfectly safe. Developers choose the complexity of C, C++, or Rust only when raw performance and absolute hardware optimization are the non-negotiable requirements of the project. Most projects don't need to count every microsecond of CPU time. Instead, they need to ship features to users quickly, which means prioritizing developer speed. Look at the updated matrix. JavaScript is the only language that runs natively inside every web browser on the planet. This gives it total coverage of the web domain with very high developer speed. JavaScript builds interactive applications instantly, insulated from hardware. The trade-off is a chaotic ecosystem, where asynchronous quirks make complex logic difficult. Next is Python, the standard for AI research, focusing on readability. Python uses a clean syntax that closely resembles English. This drastically lowers the cognitive load on the person writing the code. Its massive ecosystem of libraries like TensorFlow and PyTorch is why Python leads in machine learning. But the execution speed is fundamentally slower. Being interpreted, it's rarely the right choice for heavy mobile apps or fast-paced game engines. For most consumer products and data analysis, shipping a working feature quickly is far more valuable than achieving microsecond execution speeds. That is why JavaScript and Python dominate those fields. Large-scale web services often hit a ceiling where the overhead of a scripting language makes it difficult to handle the sheer volume of incoming traffic. This creates a need for a language built specifically for modern cloud infrastructure, Go. Go was designed with a specific technical focus, built-in concurrency through a feature called Goroutines. These Goroutines allow a single server to handle thousands of simultaneous network requests with very little memory overhead. This efficiency makes Go the modern standard for distributed backend systems requiring high concurrency. The trade-off under complexity is its rigid syntax. By omitting advanced object-oriented features, using it for complex interfaces feels extremely repetitive. Go represents a specific balance for the enterprise. It is fast enough to handle massive cloud traffic, but simple enough that large teams can read and maintain the code efficiently. We've mapped out the tools, but to make a choice, you have to look strictly at your immediate project requirements. This flowchart maps the landscape based on those requirements. It all starts with one question. What are you building? If you are an absolute beginner, or you are building interactive web applications, the path leads to JavaScript. If your focus is data analysis, machine learning, or rapid backend prototyping, your path leads to Python. If you are managing cloud services that need to handle massive simultaneous traffic, follow the line to Go. And if you require raw hardware speed, you enter the Systems branch. If you need memory safety by default, choose Rust. For legacy systems or traditional game engines, C++ remains the standard. Choosing a path means accepting the specific limitations of that domain. You cannot have maximum abstraction and maximum speed at the same time. Programming languages are purely utilitarian tools. The only correct language is the one that solves your problem, not the one that wins an argument on the internet.